the role automation plays for companies is changing very significantly. If you go back 2 decades and compare to computers, 2 decades ago, a company would say, hey, look, we've got a computer down the planning department. It's really cool, it can do all these things. And it's the technical people that run it, they set it up, they're very much concerned with how it works, what it can do, and we're a little impressed with it, right? Fast forward 2 decades, computers is infrastructure. It's just a part of how we operate, like pens and pencils were in the old days. Automation is on the way through that same swing. Many companies have bought a robot or they have automated a portion of their operation. It has been largely technical, but more and more that is becoming a business topic that is way broader than the engineering department. So it's very similar to what computers did 20 years ago.
How does this translate into, let's say, the business challenges you are discussing with clients?
Now, so the business challenge is that, in the older days of automation, you could focus on the technical side and you would find something in your operation to automate that would be very obvious and you would look at that in isolation. Now automation is more of a business enabler. It's a part of getting to other objectives that you need to achieve. It's not about that process or that piece of equipment. Of course, at a certain level it is, but the planning of it becomes important. You need to think about where do you start it? How do you plan that journey out? You can't take it in bits and pieces necessarily. At least not unless you have a plan to put that into context of, because how do you know if you invest in the right things at the right time? Where do you start? What needs to come first? What comes later? How do they interconnect? How are they related? The complexity is going up because it becomes such an integrated part of the entire business. Well, it's clear that there's so much going on. There are so many elements of what's automation. People think about robots, and there are plenty of robots here, obviously. But there are so many other things as well. It's an ecosystem, and it's a whole toolkit that carries a manufacturing operation, and the way that plays together, the way you build that together, that's becoming a whole discipline in itself. And that complexity that follows with it can be daunting once you get outside the technical departments of manufacturers.